I just wanted to make this video. My fuel pump went out on my Toyota pickup. It's a 94 Toyota pickup. My fuel pump went out, so I pulled the tank and everything to change it. I just wanted to show what I did. I found out the lines were rotted and other problems. The tank was rotted. So this is the factory line, the factory flex line that was on the truck. And right here is where they're notorious for rotting out, you know. A lot of debris builds up there and there between the frame rail. This flange on the tank goes really close to the frame rail and all that debris piles up in there. So this is original flex line that was on the truck. I did cut this original fitting off. I just went through that band, that little metal band with a cutoff wheel, and I cut that original fitting off of this end already. And this is where it came into the hard line right here where it goes up over the cross member. That cross member right there in front of the fuel tank, that line was rotten right there. And then the line went on forward this way. This is where the line went on up forward and tied into the filter. It tied into the fuel filter, and the line was bent, had this short line that had the bend in it where it went up over the bracket for the torsion. It was a torsion bar bracket on the right hand side of the frame rail, is why this line was bent like that. Then it went into the filter. Okay, so as I said, I cut the original fitting off of this line, and I'm going to reuse it, and I'll show you what I did over here. So the original fitting that was on the flex line, this is it. I think this is number 12 poly line. It's, what does it say on it? See if you can. It's 3/8 OD. It's 275 thousandths nylon 12. If you Google nylon 12, it'll come up with this same size hose. It's chemical resistant, good for gasoline, whatever. So this is just a spare piece here. This is the piece that I made up. I made it longer than the original flex line, and like I say, I put the original fitting that originally went, you know, screwed into the fuel pump hanger. I put that original fitting on it. This fitting here, it is, let's see, it's M14, is what it is, M14 female, this M14 female, but I ordered these fittings online. And this is where I ordered them from. Dynapex Performance Fittings.space. That's where I ordered, and I ordered 4 of them. I really only needed 1, but I may need some more in the future, whatever. Originally I thought I was going to use 2, but I ended up using the original one on this end. Okay, so like I say, I made this flex line longer than the original one, just to make it easier to get to underneath the truck. Make it easier to put the tank back in. Okay, and I just covered it with this rubber hose, and what is it? I can't remember, 3/8. This is just 3/8 rubber fuel line, and it fit right on this 3/8 poly line. So this will screw right into the hanger where it originally did, and then it'll come forward against the frame rail. And I built nude hard lines, and the way I did them, the one that I built is already on the truck. Okay, so this is what I bought. This is just a spare. I may take it back, I'm not sure, but it's 5/16. 5/16 is what you need to fix the fuel line, because as I said, mine was rotted out. It's 5/16, but it has, you know, standard tube nuts on it. I think these are 1/2 inch tube nuts. Okay, so what I did was I just cut the line off. As I say, I already have that line on the truck, the one that I built. All you have to do is cut one end off, and then I bought these tube nuts. I bought these M14 tube nuts, and just, you know, I put one on one end, and then I did all my bending on the other end, and then I put another one on the other end, so I only had to flare one end. You know, I just left the original flare on one end and just took both of the standard nuts off. So I took both the standard nuts off and put the M14s. And this is what the M14 tube nuts are. These are AGS. I think it's American Grease Stick, I think is what it is. But it's they're in O'Reilly's and AutoZone and everywhere else is pretty much AGS. This is the original packaging, and just for the tube nuts. I bought 3 or 4 of these, but this is what size they are. M14 by 1.5. And they have a different style, I think, that are for bubble flare, but these are for inverted flare. These specific tube nuts. So that's what I use as far as the tube nuts and the hard line and the poly line. Okay, so I think that's about it. Oh, okay, here's the tubing, the flare, not the tube, but yeah, the flaring tool that I use. I've had this for a couple of years. I've flared some brake lines with it. I don't remember where I bought it, but they're everywhere, you know, eBay, parts stores, auto parts stores, or whatever. But these do inverted flares. They have 5 different sizes, and that's about it, you know. And I'll pick this video back up later in the daylight when I'll show you what I did underneath the truck in the daylight, and that's about it for now. Okay, here's the new tank. I bought it from O'Reilly Auto Parts, and it was made in Canada. It's got a galvanized finish on it, and here's the new flex line that I made up. Like I say, it's longer than the original one, where it's a lot easier to hook up on the right-hand side frame rail under there. And this is, again, the original fitting that screws into the pump hanger. Okay, I replaced both of these lines, the return line and the vent line, and I just marked them on the ends with different colored tie wraps, so I know where they go back underneath the driver's seat, underneath the truck. Okay, so here is the filler neck. I just kind of scrubbed it with soapy water and a bristle brush. I did replace this 1/2-inch line. Here's the original, the vent line for the filler neck. It was in pretty poor shape, so I replaced it. And like I say, it's just 1/2-inch fuel line that I put on there. I will take the filler neck back off to put the tank in the truck. It's just easier that way for me, you know. I mean, I took the right rear wheel off of the truck, so it makes it pretty easy to get to the clamps on the filler neck and the vent hose. So I'll take them back off and put them on there after I get the tank back in. But that's the new tank with the new fuel pump. It's the original hanger, the fuel pump hanger. It's original, but the fuel pump and the screen and everything is new, of course. And like I say, the new lines, you know, the return line, vent line, and the extended fuel line that I put on there. Okay, so I'll get it under the truck, and then I'll make another little short video and add to this one. So that's it for now. Okay, here's a view from underneath the truck. This is the flex line that I built. I made it longer, like I say, where I could get it out here a lot easier to get to, easier to put the tank in. So here's the fitting that I put on the end of it and where it ties into the hard line. This is the hard line that I cut one end of it off and put M14 tube nuts on. Then I just come down here, and normally it was bent and went up over this bracket for the torsion bar. But I went through this big hole in the bracket. It was easier to bend that way. I just bent it here 2 times. Then I came through the hole with it over here, and I had to do some more bending on the end, and it lined up really well where it goes into the filter. So that's about it under here. Comes out of the hard line that I built, comes out of the filter, goes through the hole, back down the frame rail, secured here, goes into the flex line that I built, secured right here. Then it has the rubber hose on it. I just put the rubber hose on it to protect the flex line. Then the rubber hose goes all the way up through there to the top of the tank and is screwed into the fuel pump hanger. So there it is with the tank mounted, and that's what I did to the lines. That's how I did the lines, going from the filter all the way up to the tank. Pretty simple, pretty neat, worked out pretty good. So that's about it for now. Okay, this is the original fuel line, the original flex line that went to the pump hanger, and I just wanted to show a little bit more information on how I built up the flex line. This is the other original fitting, the one that I didn't use, that was in there, and I just took a small cutoff wheel on a Dremel tool and just cut through that little band and took this fitting off. It is a barb fitting, and took it off, and then I just put the tubing. This is the extra tubing that I had left over from the line that I've already made up, and I just chucked it up in the flaring bar that come with the flaring tool kit. I just chucked it up in there to hold it and just leave just enough sticking through to get the fitting in there so that it doesn't kink. And what I did after that, I just set it out in the sun. I just let it sit in the sun for 20 to 30 minutes, let it warm up, and then just stick the fitting in there, and I was able to just push it in by hand. It went in pretty well with it warmed up in the East Texas sun. It's pretty deadgum hot here. So that's about all I have. I hope the video was informative for someone. Hope somebody could get some use out of it, and thanks for watching.